All right. Hello, good evening, good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Hello. Happy day. I'm Tiffany, your host. Today is Sew Sunday, where we sew on a Sunday. And I'm going to sew the same thing I was sewing last Sunday because I didn't get anything done this week. The yard sale kind of just gets in the way of everything. And then I had fans come in to visit and so on and so forth. So I had a really busy weekend and didn't get nothing done in the busy week because we were preparing for a yard sale. So I didn't get nothing done for nothing. I mean, I managed to sew a couple things, but that's about it. All right. Come on, you dumb thing. This is not today's video. What's wrong with my phone?
You just want to use my computer to say hi to everybody? You don't have to have your...
Not sure what's going on here. Yeah, pass me the computer for a second while this...
Hold on, my computer's opening up new things.
Ah, never mind. I found it.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't let me click on it. All right, let's see who is here real quick. Because I'm like lollygagging, I guess. Kim, Karen, Tina, Carol, Candace, Heather, Sherry, Donna, Carla, Aldia, Connie, Dawn, Mary, BLF, Shirley, Joanna, Laura, Gloria, Mary, Joanna, Beatty, and 195 of you. That's a lot. All right, so I'm same as last week. I am just sewing the woven star blocks from the It's So Emma foundation paper blocks, and I'm sewing them my way by not cutting them down because I don't want what this says. It's supposed to be 4.5 unfinished blocks. I don't want 4-inch blocks finished. I want mine to be like 5-inch unfinished, or they're about 5.5. So if I straighten them all up and they all turn out 5.5 ish, I'm just going to sew them together that way. And it's just paper piecing, and I'm just going to sit here and chat with you while I do that. Let's plug an iron in. And if I get tired of doing this, I might grab something else. You know, it's one of those days, you know, I'm kind of not in the mood, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Maybe we'll do an auction.
Yeah, maybe we'll do an auction or something later. We'll see how my whatever goes, because I'm kind of pooped. This weekend took a lot out of me. My hips are absolutely killing me. A lot of standing, a lot of working, you know. Yard sales are a lot of work. That's why most people don't do them and they just donate. Because it's easier.
Plus you had fans here and you were busy.
Yeah, plus I had fans here and busy and teaching and showing things and learning stuff and, you know. Okay, this pile is for the one spots. I need some glue. Where's my glue? Here's my glue. Oh, I gotta fold first. What am I thinking? See, I'm not even... Woohoo! Ooh, that one's got glue all over the glue thing, all over the whole thing. I'm just gonna fold on all my spots that I need to sew. Place that behind me. That way it's not in between my legs. I had the scrap bin next to me so I could throw stuff away as I was cutting things. Yeah, that's not where it goes, Tiffany. Whew. Okay. One, fold it up. Yeah, this takes a while, so that's why I didn't get any of it done, you know, because it does take a while to do these little by little. I'm not even going to bother getting out an add a quarter ruler. I'm just going to use a regular ruler for this.
Some of them like your shopping bag video.
You guys like my shopping bag video? Oh, a lot of the questions that I tried to answer as many comments as I could of what if I don't have a serger? Well, if you don't have a serger, you can do a zigzag stitch and then come back and do a straight stitch over that. I only did the serged edges so that it stays, but in the first beginning, when I first started making them, I did French seams. So a French seam is when you sew it right sides out, like wrong sides together. You sew like a eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch, and then you fold it right sides together and then sew over that. And then when you turn it out, you'll have French seams. So I did that at first. Either way, I like 2 stitch lines to hold it because it's going to hold groceries, or heavy stuff. All right, I need 4 of these. 2, 3, and 4. This glue is very messy. 1, 2, 3. I probably don't even need glue because they're such small pieces, but it helps hold that black in place till I can get to it. Why, for the life of me, that does not look like the right one. This should have been in this pile. This goes in that pile. This goes in this pile. Whew, I knew that was small looking. My outer one piece on these, the number 1 spot, is a 6-inch square cut on both diagonals and horizontally and vertically. And then what did I do? For spot 4 and 5, which is the other spots, I did a 5.5-inch square cut on both sides diagonally and vertically and horizontally. That's how I got what I get. Oh, 1 more. And I already cut a couple of my fabrics, so that way I can, get some of this accomplished. All right, spot numero dos. As long as that covers it. Put that right here. Turn it around and sew. And no, that's not even the right sewing.
It doesn't like you.
All right, there's between 1 and 2 on that one. Oops, it goes on this side. That's perfect, right there. There we go. Between 1 and 2 on this one. Yep, just be mean to me today, machine. I was doing this earlier when I was doing something else. Decided that it didn't want to be threaded today. The machine probably feels how I feel. It's just worn out. What am I doing? It goes like this. Like that. All right, between 1 and 2. Let's do that again. Grab another one. And I did not cut any of this, so that's my fault if nothing is the right size. Usually I pre-cut the piece off, but again, I'm having a day. Having a day. 1 more, and then we'll trim everything. I gotta trim first. Just remember, trim first next time. And then I'll press, and then I'll trim the next side.
Is upholstery fabric hard because it's so thick, or a different reason? And hard to sew?
Upholstery fabric is not hard to sew. Not for me, at least. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some machines don't sew it very well, but it also depends on the foot, the needle size, and I'm looking for a word. The foot, the needle size, and the type of thread you're using, you know, could affect sewing it. All right, now I'm going to trim on my 3 line. And the pieces size that I cut are 1.5 by 2.5 for the spot number 2, and 1.5 by 3.5 for spot number 3. Those are the sizes that I figured work best for those areas.
Did you win any awards for tiny quilts and little wall hangings?
I won 2nd place on a small one before. Which small one did I win on? That was my 2nd place ribbon for it. Which one? It's not hanging up right now. That's what it is. All right, spot number 3.
Well, you still have it though, right?
I still have it, yes. Anything quilts that I win, except for one is across the street, though I could see it at any time. Anything that I ever win, I always keep those ones.
Well, the first one you couldn't because it was a client quilt.
Yeah, the first one I couldn't, though. It was a client quilt that I decided last minute to enter. But I have another one of my show quilts that's in the closet because it's giant. It's a queen king size.
Do you think the paper piecing you're using is good for a beginner, or do you suggest something else?
For a beginner, I don't know. This is pretty okay for a beginner, I suppose. I mean, it's from Fat Quarter Shop. The directions are on the thing. You sew on a line. I mean, this is probably an easier way to learn. A darker one. You just have to, the one thing that people struggle with paper piecing is you have to put the fabric on the back side of the paper because you're sewing on the lines that are on the front side of the paper. So a lot of people get confused doing that. I did when I first started, for sure. All right, that's all 4 of those. Press and trim. Huh? Legit kits, yeah. Yep. And I didn't get Skull Over done in time for the local show, so when I finally do it, it'll be ready for the next show that I want to enter in. It's the only one that's not done yet that I really wanted to finish.
You have 3 of them though.
But I have 3 for this show, and
you can only enter 3, so it's good.
Yep, I can only enter 3.
So it works perfect.
Yep, worked perfect. Plus, they always run out of space, so I have two, one big one medium-sized one, and one small one. So that'd be perfect for my entries. And if you don't know, February 5th, 6th, and 7th is the local show. So if you want to come meet me, see the quilts, all that fun stuff, then
We'll be there.
we'll be there all 3 days. I just hang out with you guys, whoever shows up. It's in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. That's where I live. So if you're in the area, Bullhead, Kingman, Laughlin, Vegas even, or Southern California, even San Diego. If I lived in San Diego, I would drive out and visit, because that's not very far. These, two? No, that's one. There's two.
You're going to do a video of the local quilt show, right? Show your entries?
I will do a somewhat video. I don't really do quilt show videos anymore because nobody watches them. It's kind of like my long arming videos. Nobody watches them, so I don't make very many anymore. But I'll do like maybe a short or something.
They just want to see the ones you
Yeah,
entered,
to
is what
see
it
the
is.
ones I've entered, yeah. I could do a little whatever. We'll see how it goes. All right, two of these. And two of these. There we go. Sew these on now. Iron this piece because I cut one of the things on the fold with everything, and well, it folded the whole piece. I think that's it. Nope, there's one more. All right, sew on my 3 and 4 spot. I mean 4 and 5 spot, and then this block. Oh, I was gonna chain piece, but I guess not. Just I'll do one at a time because that's what I'm doing already. Well, let's do it anyway. Now that I'm doing this. Okay, snippity snip. Finger press that out of the way, put the other side on. Press that way, put the other side on. Press and trim. Did everybody have a good weekend? I hear some people are, or saw that some people are getting snow.
Oh my God.
Probably a lot of it. I don't like snow. Sewing Machines Plus has a Harry Potter. What is that? A Bernina?
Yeah.
A Harry Potter Bernina.
Burnett.
A Burnett.
Yeah, not a Burnett.
Harry Potter machine.
It's cool looking.
Mhm.
Well, you know, I click on all of our
Oh,
things,
one more.
our
Duh.
affiliates to make sure they work. So when I typed it in, I clicked on it, and that's what popped up.
How funny. All right, now to trim. I'm only trimming to the size of the paper. I'm not trimming to the black line that are on these papers because I don't want to.
Where do you get the wool mat?
The wool mat was gifted to me, but you can buy them on lots of
Well, yeah, what's one of our
online
links?
sites. Try any of the links. I mean,
Yeah,
Fat Quarter
one of
Shop
our
probably
links.
has them. Sewing Machines Plus most likely has them. Lots of them have. You can buy it anywhere. Shoot, you could probably
QBPN.
buy it on Walmart.
QBPN.
Yeah, QBPN probably has it because they have books and notions. That's what their name is. Quilt Books and Notions. Probably not. I don't think so. I don't know though. I never know.
What thread brand and weight do you use for bag making?
For bag making, like regular bags, I use whatever, like 40 or 50 weight on the Juki if I make a bag from here. If I'm making a bag out of vinyl or leather or cork or something, I have Tech 70 on that machine, which is, I don't even know, it's Tech 70, they tell Tech 30, they sell Tech 40, like they sell all of it, but I use the 70 for like vinyl bags on that machine. But this one, I just run whatever's here. And needle on this one is a 9014. That one I think is a 16 or an 18. I'm not 100%. All right, let's choose a layout.
Small wool mats smell bad.
Not all wool mats smell bad, but if you get it wet, it's going to smell bad no matter what. It's just one of those things. Wool mats do have a smell. Some smell right off the bat. Some companies don't smell right off the bat. And I guess it just depends on the manufacturer of it. Like this one smells when I get it wet. My other one in the other room doesn't smell bad when I get it wet. Not anymore, at least. Took a while for that smell to go away. All right, finger press that way. All right, and I always press the final seam open. The two sides I just press one way or the other, but the final seam I press open. Even with the paper still on it, I'll pull the paper when I'm ready to pull all the paper. I'll wait until I make a ton of blocks. That way they don't get wrinkled or anything between now and then. Because who knows when I'll finally be done with this. But I figured I'd drag it on at least this week. Because I had breakfast at Tiffany's this week, that just passed. And I started a whole new project there, and well, I obviously made bags in a video as well, reusable shopping bags. So I kind of have a lot of junk everywhere. And if you're one of my fans who recently came to my house, you saw it. They got to see the other side of the camera. The mess, the disaster of this room. Oh, here's my block.
You had fun with them all, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I had fun with everybody, yes, but...
And I'm sure the fans had
Oh,
fun.
yeah,
They
had
didn't care
fun.
what your house looked like.
Yeah. They had fun. We're all quilters. We all make a mess. I just don't clean mine up as much as I used to. I had real in the beginning, super OCD when it came to my fabric. And so you can ask Scott. That's all I was ever doing was organizing and cleaning up fabric. I never made a mess. And now I'm all these years in and I'm like, why do I need to clean that up? I'm just going to use it again. There's no sense in cleaning anything up. I used to clean after every project and everything. All right, I'm going to fold all my papers because I cut it on the diagonal on the dotted lines. Now I'm folding on the straight sewing lines.
Our balloon show's next weekend, right?
Yep, the Balloon Fest is next weekend, so if you're in town for that too, I don't mind hanging out with you. I don't know, I don't know if I'll go to the Balloon Fest, but I always hang out at my house. I know people do come in for that. Doesn't have to be quilting to come meet me.
You wore yourself out.
Yeah, I wore myself out. I'm not going to the Balloon Fest. I really am, guys. It's not good.
You have to save up for the quilt show.
Yep, I have to save up, make myself ready for the quilt show, and
that's gonna wear you out.
Yeah, that's gonna wear me out too, because I don't walk that much in here. I don't rent scooters or anything. I actually walk it because it's not a huge building. But I typically shouldn't be walking that much. It's like walking Walmart is what it is, honestly. But I do sit a lot. They always set up a little like sitting area at the quilt show, which is good. This morning was still kind of breezy, so I didn't see any balloons go up. Usually they go up around 8 in the morning, and there was none today. All right, there's some glue. Put the blacks on here, trim them. And remember, if you use glue on your paper piecing like this, the glue is going to be under the quilt. It's going to, because this is the front side that you see, so the glue will be on the back side when you rip the papers off. It's on the back of everything, and it washes away. This school glue stuff washes away. Never thought I would need glue and quilting until I started paper piecing. All right, let's between two. Let's trim that. Get that cut to size. Put a piece on there. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut another one probably. Go about right there. Those two here. Let's grab some scissors. Where did I put them? Right there. There. That's ready to be sewn. That's ready to be sewn. And one more. All right. That on there. There we go. Go ahead and sew all these up now. All right. Press them back.
Did you pick specific colors or just grab?
I just grab. I didn't pick anything specific. I just grabbed. I threw a bunch. I cut a bunch of little ends off of all of them because I haven't used the same color yet. If you watched last week, I didn't use the same colors, so I pulled from the didn't use pile and just cut off whatever. So I didn't really care where any of this actually ends up. It's fine as long as there's, because it's got 8 points, so altogether. So as long as all 8 points are different, it looks fine and dandy to me. All right, now for the 3 spot. Which way is better? This way? Yeah. Okay. Where does it end? Right there. One more. Yeah, I'm just doing this all random. No sense in it being in any kind of order. Random is good. All right, now prep for 4 and 5 spots. Any questions or anything? I feel like I get so quiet, you know? That's a good piece right there. That could be used for something. Honestly, that's a good size piece. Still trying to grab those.
cutter a good one?
Is my cutter a good one? This Martelli ergonomic cutter. I'm going to say heck yeah. I swear by the Martelli cutter.
Well, we plug it all the time.
I plug it all the time. You can get it on Fat Quarter Shop, Sewing Machines Plus. I think all of the links have it. But I had carpal tunnel first. And before I even, when I first started quilting, the strain of the hold it this way cutter, you know, the long ones, that was annoying me, making things worse, I think. And that's why my carpal tunnel ended up so bad. Then I had the surgery for my carpal tunnel, couldn't cut nothing for a while, and went right back to this. And because I was using this, you know, and it was making things whatever. Then I started using this, had the surgery, and ever since then, I don't have no wrist pain. I don't have no arm pain. I can cut for hours, hours, hours. I cut longer than it when I'm holding the ruler. My ruler hand gets so fatigued. Cutting hand, it doesn't care. Not anymore. Yep, it's probably the best decision I ever made was to switch to a Martelli cutter. Saved my sanity in the quilt room.
Are they expensive?
Are they expensive? I think they run, what, $36 or something like that?
I just put the link in, so let's click on it and see.
He put the link in, so he's going to click on it and see how much they are.
What other Juki machine do you sew on other than the one you're using now?
I have the TL2010Q, which is the one I'm sewing on, and then I use a Juki DU1181N is my industrial machine, and my other one is coming to me HZL F600. That's what it is.
Cutter's $32.
Yep, the cutter's $32, so not bad. And it lasts, well, a long time until, you know, you're me and break things. I literally have one in here for cutting, one in the fabric room for cutting, and then I have 2 more extras still in the package. So I go through a lot of them, but they would last longer if you weren't me. I do cut a lot. Mainly it's, you know, I go through a lot of blades, but mainly it's just because I throw them around and then I break the little thingies that are in there, or when I change the blade, I'll break it accidentally. They still work without it though, surprisingly.
I was thinking of getting a serger sometime. Is it really hard to learn?
A serger is, well, I never used one before, and now I've had one for the last few years, and it's really easy. The only thing is you have to follow the diagram for threading it. It's 4 spools of thread that come in, and then 2 are for whatever, and 2 go a different way. And the tension, it's hard to see which one is off because it's hard to dial it. That I don't understand yet. And mine is slightly off. At least it looks like it is. But then I don't know because I never used one before. But it's just like any other sewing machine. They do make machines that look like a regular machine that's also a serger overlock. But if you want the one that takes the 4 spools of thread and whatever, they do make 3 spool ones too, I've seen. I don't know how to use the overlock function on it. I know how to make the edges or whatever, but I don't know how to not use the cutter or turn the cutter off because I never had a book for it. So I don't know what goes to what or how to turn all that off. I don't even know how to adjust the side things on it. There's little dials. I don't know how to do any of that. So, I mean, I guess if you read a book, but it's easy enough to use where you don't even need a book because I've been using it to make clothes and all sorts of stuff. Since I've had it.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Yeah, I guess. Especially if you want to make clothing. So that way you don't have any raw edges on your clothing. The pants that I'm currently wearing, my pajamas, my lovely pajamas, see, even got elastic in them, and they were sewn on the inseam, you know, with a serger. No other stitch, no straight stitch or anything. And then the ends here, I folded them under and hemmed those, not on the serger, but on the regular machine. But yeah, I serged the seams, and so far I wear these all the time, and they haven't fallen off. I mean, haven't fallen apart. I've not had to sew anything back together. So if you're making clothing, yeah, I think it would be a good idea. I have a couple things I've made that I wear all the time and they haven't fallen apart yet.
When did you become a content creator?
When did I become a content creator? Well, I joined YouTube in, I don't remember when, 2014, I guess. I don't know. And then I started making content in 2016. So 10 years ago. But I wasn't on all the time 10 years ago. It was maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, I'd come on and hang out with people on the thing. I had like 6 or 7 people that would watch me in the beginning, you know. And then as soon as I started having subscribers, I started making more videos. I was in my house. So I had about, I don't know, 500 subscribers when I moved into the house. And it sat at 500 to 1,000 before I could, because you used to be able to go live back then on YouTube without having 1,000 subscribers from a mobile device. Then all of a sudden, while I had 500 subscribers, it stopped, and I had to wait to go live again for another, what was it, almost a year and a half before I had 1,000 subscribers. So that way I could be monetized and be able to go live from a cell phone. That was a pain in the butt. I waited all that time, you know, but then my channel just started growing because I started filming videos that during that time. They weren't very good quality, but I started doing that and more people started watching, so that's how my channel grew. But I've been literally making some kind of quilting related videos for 10 years because it's now 2026. And I started doing it in 2016. And some of you have probably been here since then.
Some of
From
them
right
like
at the
blurry
beginning.
videos, they're saying.
Yeah.
They like them old blurry ones.
My old blurry videos are the ones that have children. They weren't even mine because I had a daycare at the same time that had children just in and out of the room constantly, up and down on my lap, you know, trying to sew with me and needing attention. Yeah. So, yeah, I've had my channel for quite a while. You know, I would have thought though in the last 10 years, I mean, never went for a number. I don't really care, but I would have thought though in 10 years of being on YouTube that I would be at more than 100,000. I'm only at 60 something. I like kind of been the slow pace channel. Probably never will be big, you know, because I don't know why. Maybe it's because of my video quality actually. Who knows? Whatever it is, I just like being here with you guys, so I don't care. I like hanging out, showing you what to do, trying to tell you guys how to do it your own way, inspire you to get up and do it, you know, those kind of things. Especially those that have disabilities and stuff. This is me showing you that I could still do this even with disabilities. Ooh, hot water just drained out of there onto my hand. That burned. How'd that happen? I don't have the steam on. I have no steam because I'm paper piecing, so I don't use steam, by the way, if you guys didn't know. All right, here is my block. See, they're all just random, super random blocks. All right, there's 2. Grab out another one of these, fold some papers, and choose 8 more fabrics. What am I doing? I'm trying to fold that. Yeah. Now it's all wet because something up here is all wet from the iron. Oh, my ruler is what's wet. All right, fold on my paper. So that way it's at least ready. We'll cut some pieces. Some 1.5 by 2.5 and some 1.5 by 3.5 inch pieces off of my scraps. No, stop doing that.
Would you consider doing a video how to thread and run a serger?
Would I consider doing a video on how to thread and run a serger? Well, I would, but I've only had to thread the machine one time. Just once, because 2 of the things came out, and I don't have a book to do it, so I'm following the arrows on the machine, and I'm almost lost. Let's just say that. So I don't know if it would be a very good video because I'm not a professional. There might be people out there that have videos on threading a serger, though. Because I probably might not be the best person to show you since I've only done it one time. It came to me threaded, and it broke thread about 6-7 months into having it and using it for making clothing things. And then, I don't know, I spent like 2 hours trying to thread the darn thing, cussing and cursing the whole time. So, I don't know if I'm the best person for that. All right, I need to choose
What's the most stitches you ever quilted on a quilt?
the most stitches I ever quilted on a quilt. Like 800,000. I'd have to grab my book out there to be able to tell you.
It's in the thousands, though.
Yeah, it's in the hundreds of thousands. Let's just put it this way. On an average queen size quilt, just edge to edge quilting at a medium density, there's at least 300,000 stitches. Okay. A king size quilt, edge to edge with a medium quality density, it's usually like 425,000 stitches. So just imagine how many stitches there are by that number right there. So any show quilt that has a lot of stitches, it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands.
Do you enjoy paper piecing as much as you do regular piecing?
No, I do not enjoy paper piecing as much as regular piecing. Paper piecing to me is slow. It's a slow thing. 6, 7, 8. There's 8 colors there. Yeah, I don't. It takes a while, so I'm not like whatever at it, you know. Let's cut that off. Put that in that pile because that's not enough. We're gonna take the paper off of it finally after all this time because these are the smaller pieces. So whatever's here is what's here. I'm literally just gonna keep it big like this and cut as I need. That'll go in my. Is there 2.5 here? Is this big enough? Oh, that is big enough right there. So we'll take this little end off of here for my number 2 spot. This could be a number 2 spot.
What's the point of paper piecing?
What's the point of paper piecing? To have accuracy. 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 You know what I just said. Yeah. To be more accurate. That's the point of paper piecing. Well, What's this, 1.5 inches? But will it cover the 2? It will cover the 2. So I got 3 of those. I can only put 1 more. This is like 3.5, isn't it? Will it cover the 3? It
If
covers
you need
the 3.
to add 2 pieces to quilt binding, what's the best way to make them land equally, one on each side?
If I need what now?
I need to add 2 pieces to quilt binding. What's the best way so they land equally, one on each side?
I have to read that myself. That's confusing.
I don't know either.
Let's find it first.
The very bottom and go up till your wild angel.
I don't even find the comment.
It's 9 up from the bottom.
9 up from the bottom. 1,
Well, now
2,
10.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Your wild
8,
angel.
9, 10. I added 2 pieces to quilt binding. What is the best way so they land equally, one on each side? To measure out. Are you talking about, like, you guys have seen my bindings where I take 1 piece, I make sure it lands at exactly the top, and 1 that lands exactly at the bottom, and then 2 that land on the sides equally, and then 4 different colors to be the corners. I've done that before. That's measuring to do that. I cut where I want the piece to be, and then I sew the pieces on, and then I kind of lay them out on the quilt before I decide where they go. If it makes any sense at all. That's how I do those. I'm hoping that's the answer you wanted. That pile and this will be.
How many Bargello quilt videos do you have?
How many Bargello quilt videos do I have? Like 4?
Yeah, I know. They asked if you had one. I said, yes, of course.
Yep.
4.
I have like 4. And then I've made like 8 or 9, because Justin's too.
Yeah.
So I made like 9 Bargello quilts in my, 10 years of sewing. All right, here we go. Glue for piece 1. Yeah, I even have 2 or 3 Bargello quilts hanging in there. No, 2 now, because one of them is over there quilted finally.
Yeah. You just finished this, and
Yeah.
we showed it on your last mail opening.
We showed it on my last mail opening video. I just finished that one, so that's a Bargello that he's holding up behind me. There is a video. It was done on Breakfast at Tiffany's or a Sew Sunday. Or I'm pretty sure this was a Breakfast at Tiffany's. Jim, if he's here, he'll put a link in the chat to that video, and you can just go save for later kind of thing.
And it is for sale.
And this one's for sale if anybody's interested. But yeah, I have 2 left in the closet then. 1 and 2. Yep, I have 2 left in the closet.
Jim posted a link.
Yep, Jim put the link.
He's on it.
Yeah, the most recent, most clearest demonstration of making it is whatever video he probably put the link in, because it's the most recent.
Jim's the man. He
Yep,
knows.
Jim's on it when he does that stuff for me. He's like the best. He finds videos faster than I find them. And they're my own videos. People message us a lot, what video did you do this in? What did I do? Send a screenshot. Then I will know. But most people do it because they were watching it or something, and then they couldn't find it again. All right, 2 spot. Let's put this.
Is there a way to make binding with unequal widths?
Make binding with unequal widths that look decent. Well, yeah, it's called scrap binding. Oh no, unequal widths of fabric.
Widths.
No. If you need binding all the way around, if you want a big thick one, do 3 inches. If you want the medium size, do 2.5-inch cuts. If you want smaller size, do 2.25-inch cuts. Yeah, there's no way to put a 2.5-inch strip to a 3-inch strip to a 2.5. That will mess everything up, because then you won't have a straight line to sew with. So no, that will not work. But you can make scrappy binding with different lengths lengths of different pieces from other binding. Because that, I have a giant roll I make myself. And every time I have leftover binding, I keep adding strips to it. So I have a giant roll. I can probably bind like 15 quilts with the amount of binding I have on a roll. And one more. We'll get those sewn on.
How did we meet?
We met on Craigslist when Craigslist had platonic dating ad, like an ad space for dating, which was many years ago because they don't have that anymore. Now there's apps for dating, which I never thought there would be, but I don't date. Either way, there's apps for it though. So like, I don't know, singlemingle.com or something. I don't know. I don't know what any of them are.
They had some of those back then because that's how Mom met John.
She had Christian Mingle or something.
Yeah, but I mean, they had those.
Yeah, they had ChristianMingle.com and stuff, but now they have others where you could like, you want a one night stand or something. They have those kind of websites. Because I watched those TV show episodes. My husband cheated on me, and I found his account on Tinder.
They have tons of that stuff.
Yeah, there's tons of apps.
We didn't meet for that.
We didn't meet for that, though. We met to hang out. When we were looking for a friend, I didn't have time for a man in my life. Honestly, I had 4 kids. I was running a daycare. I just wanted somebody to come over when my kids were already asleep, when I was still wide awake, and watch movies with me because I had no time for friends, So that's how we met, because we both were looking for somebody to just hang out, chill, watch movies, go, all sorts of stuff. Go out and hang out, although we never went out much in the beginning because
we didn't have time.
We didn't have time. All my kids around.
We tried to, and we got called back every time.
Yep, every time we tried to leave the house, the kids would call
us and complain about Damon.
Yep. So we were never able to really go out and date like real dating when we realized we liked each other, because it was impossible. It wasn't until they got older and Cyrus was older that we were able to start going out and do things. Yeah, we met a long time ago on a thing that there's still a Craigslist, though. You can still go buy things on Craigslist. Oh, it still worked.
So I clicked on it, and yeah, it came up. I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that was still a site.
Yeah, I didn't know it was still a site either, surprisingly. All right, so I'm trimming.
Had it right at the top there, so I clicked on it.
Between my 2 and 3 spots so that I can add my 3 spot. Alright, garbage. Here we go. Let's choose these colors to go wherever. Let's put purple one on this one. Right there.
Tell them that we went to school together.
Yeah, we even went to school together and we never met. He lived down the street from me, literally. I walked to school every day to the high school, and I was up like 2 cul-de-sacs up, and he was on the corner of one of the mainer streets, which was one more, street to the high school. So I passed his house every single day, and we never met. We always say it too. We talk about like, what if we met in high school? Do you think we'd still be together? Oh, let's put this side on. There we go. Yeah. Yep, we were very close in proximity and never met. Hold that, make sure it crosses over just a smidgen. There we go. Cross over now. And one more. This is way too tall.
What size will it be?
What size will what be? Gotta tell me what, and then I could tell you I don't know, because that will be my answer. I don't know, because I might add to the blocks too. I had an idea in my head, and I haven't obviously started in on it because I want to get the blocks pieced first. drink. Okay, press these and trim the 4 and 5 spot. That happened. Pay attention.
What size will the quilt be?
I don't know what size this will be when it's finished. If I just put these blocks together in a, let's see, 42, so I would be 6 across by 7 down, and they're 5.5 inches. So I could tell you right now by the calculator, maybe 5 inches finished times 6. So it would be 30 inches by 35 inches is what the quilt would be. It would just be a little tiny wall hanging. Oh, yeah, whatever. Stop doing that. Okay. All right. Oh, I didn't press that one.
Find it dulls your needle as you go. for
Does
paper
it
piecing?
dull my needle as I go? Yes. But do I change my needle? Nope. Am I even using the correct size needle for paper piecing? Nope. They say to use the hold on, I have to look at these things now these days because I am having problems with remembering things. 116. That's not what I'm using. I'm using a 9014. It's right there on top and the stuff that I don't use. All right, where are we at? Cutting this off. Cutting this off. They also suggest you use a 50 weight thread, and right now I'm using a 50 weight thread, I think. So that's the thing I got that I'm doing properly. Everything else, I don't follow nobody's rules, but suggested stuff, you know. That's what they say. But I sew just fine. This is paper piecing paper. It's thinner than regular paper. So it really isn't doing, I haven't even changed my blade and I've been cutting on paper. I mean, it dulls it, but, and here, because you're sewing through paper, it's hard to differentiate between the sound of, when your needle starts going dull and you're just sewing your 2 layers of fabric, you know, you got one on top, one on the bottom, you're just sewing it, and you start hearing a poking sound, like it sounds like it's forcing it, shoving it through the fabric, you definitely need to change your needle. On paper piecing, that sound is the whole time. So you can't tell whether your needle is dull or not unless it doesn't poke through the paper. So honestly, I just leave whatever blades in there. When I'm done with this and sewing all the what is the word for it? The canvas fabric, I'll change the needle. But I'll wait till I'm done. You're supposed to change with every sew, and so many people throw fits about that, but you know what? You really don't need to. I'm using a titanium blade. They're supposed to last longer. I mean, I break a lot of what quilt police would call rules. I don't follow those things. I've never had a problem. My seams still come out great. My whatever still comes out great. So there's no sense in wasting a bunch of money buying a whole bunch of needles when you don't need to change it every 8 hours of sewing, you know, which is the recommended. But like I said, I don't follow those rules. I change it when I know it needs to be changed because I've sewn so much on that one.
How long have you been quilting and sewing?
I have been quilting and sewing for over 10 years, but this year is now like 11 technically years, but continuously all the time, every day for 10 years. And YouTube for 10. Because YouTube videos started in 2016. Just to make friends in the beginning. And I made lots of friends. All right, I'm gonna put my 4 and 5 spots on here. And I don't want anybody to start off quilting with bad habits like me, you know, but sometimes the obvious is the obvious when you've been doing it for so long. I mean, you don't get a new non-stick pan right away. You still use the old one because you're so used to it that you just add more butter or spray, right? Think about it. So what's the point? If the needle is still sewing, sew. And if you don't trust it, then change it. Now, rotary blade wise, I do change that as often as I possibly can. That's one thing that does go dull. And I don't have a sharpener, never tried a sharpener. So for those of you that buy sharpeners, you might want to tell the newbies in the chat if that's a good purchase or if you should just stay away from those too, because they're kind of pricey. Yeah. I know another content creator that swears by the sharpener, but other than that, I don't know anybody in person actually that even has one. No, I don't think so. Not that I saw while I was there. Oh, Eric does have one, but he doesn't use it.
Oh, he has a sharpener but doesn't use it.
Yep,
Okay.
he has a sharpener but doesn't use it. He told me that one day. I was like, oh, well, how am I supposed to know how good it is if you're not going to use it and tell me? Oh, one more. All right, now to trim. The size of the paper, not the size that they want, because I'm making mine just a little bit bigger. The paper is just a template for me, pretty much. Yeah, I just buy a new blade. I mean, I change mine once every 3 months or so. And what you can buy a 4-pack package or a 10-pack package or whatever. So that's going to still last more than 1 year. I mean, unless you're changing it all the time, but I don't change mine that often. It takes a couple months for it to go dull. Once my cutting mat goes dull, that's when my blade is 10 times duller. But as you can tell, I'm not really pushing that hard right here. And I changed my blade like 2 months ago. I think I did it well on camera even. I never changed the blade in any of my other ones because I don't use them enough. I mean, except for my fabric room one. And even then, I cut loads of fabric. Because you guys see the amount of scraps I have that I don't need. Alrighty, let's lay this out. This one has 3 purples in it. Switch that one to that one spot.
Is your thread all cotton or polyester?
My thread is 100% cotton. This is signature thread. I'm not using it right now, but I was using it for something else, and I'm using 100% cotton essentials thread from Connecting Threads. My long arm, I do use polyester on there. I use glide thread, which is polyester. I also use polyester thread on my serger, so I have a bunch of serger thread too to change the colors in it. Although, what's the point? I only use it for certain things, and nobody sees my inseams, so what does it matter what color it is? So when that runs out, then, you know, then I will change the thread color in that too. But I won't run cotton through it because the serger is already messy, so I just run polyester through that. And then the industrial machine I have runs cotton thread, polyester thread, nylon thread. It runs all sorts of stuff. And I probably could run cotton through my long arm, but I don't want to because the mess is literally a disaster. I'm the most laziest when it comes to cleaning out the bobbin area on the long arm because guess what? There's nothing in it. Using glide thread, I can quilt a whole entire quilt and there's not even, I'm gonna have to show that one time, quilt the whole quilt and then show you. There's not barely any dust at all whatsoever because the glide thread is pretty much lintless. Yeah, I barely clean that area out. I'm really lazy about it. You should clean it with every bobbin change, but I don't make a mess in there, so there's no sense in doing that. So I guess that would be with people who use cotton thread in their long arms to change every, clean it out every bobbin change. All right, next block is done. Ooh, that paper is hot. Cute. Has a lot of purple in that one. All right, let's do it again. I'm very uncomfortable. All right, fold everything. See, I think this is the part that is what makes me not like paper piecing because you got to fold on these lines. Either way, you have to fold them back. So that way when you cut your 1/4 inch seam, so pre-folding it allows you to see where that fabric is going to lay and if you're going to cover all the areas, because see it's folded. So it's going to give you an amount of size so that you can see this area is that big. You know what I mean? This area is that big. So you can also, get your pieces to size. And it folds back nicer. So like this kind of stuff takes so long, it makes me not like paper piecing, but I do like the results of paper piecing.
Do you do a victory lap on the edges or do you not have to?
I do a stay stitch or victory lap around the edges of quilts that have, and I also recommend this for people who send quilts to me to long arm or to any long armor. If you have open seams around the edges of your quilt, because say this is how you ended your quilt blocks. So these are together and you ended it and all those seams are on the edge, there's no border stopping it, then yes, take an 1/8 of an inch seam around the perimeter of the whole entire quilt top to keep those so that they don't fall apart. Especially if you have 2.5 inch squares. So say you did a piano key border around the edge, any kind of piano key, even if it's just 2.5 inch squares or if it's whatever 2.5 by 5 inch pieces all the way around, stay stitch the edge of that, because by the time it gets to the long armor, you're going to have so many popped seams. And guess what I do not do for people? I do not take it into my room and sew every single seam that has already opened up. Instead, I glue them closed on the long arm and stitch around it. That's all I do. I don't take the time to stitch your guys' seams closed. So for any long armor, if you're going to send your fabric, your quilt top to a long armor, make sure you do a victory lap or a stay stitch around the perimeter of a quilt that has any kind of seams. If it doesn't have a border, you have no border to your seams. How about that? That makes sense. You don't have to do it if you have a border, though, because the border is there to stop those seams from opening. But if you don't have the border, sew around it. And especially because a lot of people take their quilt tops to show and tell, to get ideas from their friends at the quilt guilds of what to quilt on their quilts or whatever, you know, ideas and stuff. And they hold the quilt up so often that you're opening the seams more and more. All right, glue time, and then we'll cut out our colors.
Do you think it would be putting sash in between the blocks to finish the quilt?
Well, my idea is not going to be sashing in between the blocks to finish it, but you can do that kind of stuff on blocks like this. It's going to be a little quilt no matter what I do, even with my other idea. Scott did buy me some black fabric though, so maybe my other idea can actually be put to life when I finally finish these blocks.
You had a rough
that
week,
one was,
so you got fabric.
Yeah, I had a rough week, so he bought me black fabric because I needed it. But what I had here and some scraps over there is the last of it, but the scraps over there are not the same color as this. So he had to buy me more black. That one's definitely wrinkled. I did not press this fabric before cutting it, so it's like very wrinkled.
Do you do any embroidery on any quilt block?
I do not really do embroidered quilt blocks. The only thing I do embroidery on is tags. I use my embroidery machine for tags and for t-shirts. When I make my own t-shirts, my Tiffany's Quilting Life logo, I embroider that on.
We don't use the embroidery.
Yeah, I don't use my embroidery machine like that anymore. Nothing against the embroidered blocks. I mean, they're cute, they're adorable and stuff like that. And I quilt them all the time for people, but it's not my style. The only thing I embroidered blocks in, that I embroidered a quilt and turned it into a quilt is this one right here. I thought it was plain with my paper piecing. Oops, I'm sorry for covering the mic. I thought that the paper piecing was plain and there was too much emptiness, so I embroidered dragonflies all the way around my dragonfly dance quilt. So, I mean, there is an exception to my I like it or don't like it or find it my style or theme rule, because this made it more better. So that made it my style, more likely my style. You know what I mean?
See, I told you you had done it before.
Yeah, I have done it. I just don't do it often. And I've done it on a couple other things, like a client quilt I did embroidery on the blocks for. And actually, I've done several because they send me their quilt top, it's finished, and they have the empty blocks, and they tell me whatever and embroider them before I long arm quilt it. I've done that a few times. But I've also quilted a lot of already embroidered stuff. But now that we're on that subject of things like that, applique. Applique is also not my thing, but there's an exception to that rule when it's not my thing as well. And that is, it depends what the applique is. You know, I'm not really into like the sunbonnet sews. Honestly, it's not my style. To each their own. It's just too vintage for me. But applique wise, I will. Where's it at? It's right here. Do applique like this because that's more my style. It's a family tree. Super easy, you know, but it's applique. And with decorative stitches instead of blanket stitches with leaves, you know, that's my style. That's my thing. But like sunbonnet sews and those other things, I'm totally not interested. I really ain't. It's beautiful to see them at the quilt shows and stuff, but just not my thing. I don't
What
like
do you
it.
think of UPP?
I have not done English paper piecing. I have, I'll just show you guys. It's good actually walking around. I have myself 2 packages so that I can try it. I just don't like hand sewing. But I got the 2 packages to do it and make a little small wall hanging with it.
Yeah,
But
you still have a quilt that needs hand sewing.
yeah, I still have another quilt that needs to be hand quilted before I even start on a hand sewing English paper piecing. But I got them, just haven't used them yet.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Oh, thank you,
She gave us
Marilyn.
$20.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. All right, that'll be the 2.5 pile. 2.5 pile. 3.5 pile. 3.5 pile. We need some other colors than purple. All right, we have an orange one. Is that 2.5 inches there? Ooh, that's cutting it super close. Let's do this. That. And then 1.5. All right, put that in that pile, not in that pile. This one, a 3.5er. I need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this will be the 4th one for that pile, and a brown to be the 4th one in the next pile. That's not going to be big enough. Let's see this way. Oh, that should be good for that pile. And I literally had 1 fabric color left. I'll just re-rotate it because I'm going to rotate through all the colors again. Except I'm going to mix and match them even more. I wasn't going to, but then I decided to just now. Because I don't feel like digging through my bin, which is buried over there anyway. All right, the number 2 spot. Let's get these done.
Your hair glistens tonight. When will you donate it?
My hair glistens. When will I donate it? I will donate it. Okay, I have thin hair, guys. I just washed it today. I wash my hair on Sundays and Wednesdays because there's no need to wash this all the time. So I just washed it today. I have very, very, very thin hair. But if I was to cut my hair right here to my chin, that short, I have 14 inches of available hair. But my hair, as you can see, is very, very thin. So if I put a rubber band around it and it's super tiny and braid it, that's like the amount that a normal person of normal hair would have. So I have to grow this to my butt and partially back up. Then there'll be enough for a wig. So this is 4 years of hair growth. You know, well, you guys were there. Well, no, 5 years now because, well, it was cut all the way off in 2021. So no, this 4 years now of hair growth. And I have to keep trimming it or else it stops growing. So in probably 2028, I'll be ready to donate my hair probably. If it stays at this rate of growing, at least, which is kind of slow, I think, in my own opinion. So a few more years. I have a 4th one. Oh, it's right here. Whoo-wee. So yeah, a few more years and then I'll donate my hair. But I'm going to cut it to like chin length, and I'm going to be really weird about that because my hair's been so long now, for so long. So it's been long for so long. This is the longest my hair has been in over 25 years. Because when I had Alexa, my hair was down to my waist. It's not to my waist yet. It was all the way down to the top part of my hips. And then I chopped it all off because when I went to give birth to her, if I would have had all that hair, I would have hated it. So during my pregnancy, I chopped my hair off. And it was great too because my pregnancy with Damon came right after. And I had shorter hair and it was great. It was like, because I had them summer pregnancies with them. So it was summertime. I really didn't need a lot of hair in the summertime.
Do you have to have enough for a full wig?
I don't have to have enough for a full wig, but I want to have enough for a full wig. I can donate it now. It's perfectly fine, you know. But I don't want to just yet. And I'm only donating because that's what my son wanted to do with his hair. And I could donate the hair that I cut off of him with my hair. And they could make a wig out of both of our hair. But that would be kind of funky because his hair was wavy and my hair is like super duper duper straight. That would be weird. It would be weird wig that they would make from it. So, and I don't really want to get rid of his hair. It's in his urn with him. So, you know how that thing goes when someone you love dies. It's kind of hard for certain things. So yeah, I'll donate it when it's just a little bit longer. It doesn't have far to go. It's already at my lower back. All right, spot numero 3. The only problem with my hair is it's always everywhere. It gets everywhere. And I trim it often to try to keep the dead end problem under control. But my hair falls out really easily, like a lot. I can brush my hair before taking a shower and then brush it after I take a shower. Lose a bunch before, lose a bunch during the shower, and lose a bunch after the shower.
A lot of people were saying they liked yours when it was short. They
Yeah.
remember videos 4 years ago when it was chin length, and they liked that.
Yeah, I've always, most of my life, had either about shoulder length or shorter.
I thought you looked very good when you had it short.
Oh, yeah.
Your chin length, it looked very good.
All right, hold on. Let's pre-choose these colors or else it's going to look weird. Let's put this one on this, that one on that, light purple on this one, and the purple on that one. Okay. Yeah, I like my chin length hair, but now that my hair's been for so long, I kind of like long hair now. It makes me feel gorgeous.
What hair products do you use?
Well, I was using Mille, 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 yeah, from Walmart, but it's too expensive for me to keep using. So I used, ready for this? Whatever Scott brings home from the gym when people leave their shampoos and conditioners behind.
I buy you
and
cheap stuff every
he buys me cheap stuff every now and then, but I take all the shampoos and conditioners, dump it all in the one ginormous bottle that has a pump, and all the brands are mixed together right now, as well as my conditioner. I take a strawberry smelling VO5 and that, what is that other one that we have? The Suave, like coconut smell, and pour them all into one big giant conditioner thing that I have in my shower with the pump. And yeah, that's what I do my hair with. And then I do use, it's expensive, but what is it called? Garnier Fructis leave-in conditioner. I do use that though. I have to, or else I have very frizzy hair.
We got 2 bottles at Walmart for a deal there. They had the 2.
Oh yeah, it's like $8.
Yeah.
It's not much, but it's a lot when you think about it. When you don't have money.
Yeah, that's one thing we don't have.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I take care of my hair. I do blow dry my hair too, so I ruin it slightly. But if I don't, it takes like 5 hours to dry. Ask Scott. I'll take a shower in the summertime, and even in the summertime, my hair will be wet for like 5 hours. It really sucks. Yep. So I definitely have to blow dry my hair, and that's another reason why it's good that I wash it every few days, but I've always washed my hair every few days. Monday or Wednesdays and Sundays.
You ever tried a shampoo bar?
Shampoo bar I have not tried, but I've been seeing those
They're
kitsch.
chemically free and healthy and
Yeah.
last long.
I've been seeing the kitsch commercials, and the reviews on that. I kind of want to try it, but I don't really got the money. I went on their website and it was kind of pricey, at least for my budget. You know. That's why I didn't keep with the Millet stuff, because it's pricey. And it's not even very much. You don't get a lot of it for the price. But I haven't tried the bars yet. I want to. I think that would be, see how that would work. Oh my goodness. Come on, you dumb paper. There you go. If I had, I can braid my own hair into pigtails. It really hurts to do that because of my hands. If I had someone around me that can French braid my hair, I would have my hair French braided all the time. I used to be able to French braid my own hair, but I can't hold my arms above my head anymore. I can't even French braid my own kid's hair. Last time Maxine was, one of the times Maxine was here last, I tried to French braid her hair. I just couldn't do it. I can't, my fingers don't grasp like that anymore. But when I go to QuiltCon, if my friend Stephanie is there, she French braids my hair for me.
Well, that's
And
nice.
2 pigtail French braids. And my hair's a lot longer now, so the French braid would be longer. Because it's been 2 years since I had her do my hair last time.
That's nice of her, though.
Yes, it is nice of her to do that for me. And I can't curl my hair. My hair don't stay curled. I have very thin, non-curlyable hair. But if you guys remember, after I had valley fever and I cut all of it off, and my hair started growing back. Remember, it grew back curly for a while. Weirdest thing. As soon as it got long enough, it stopped being curly. But it was very weird. My mom was like, how is it that you gone 40 blah, blah, blah years, and now all of a sudden your hair has finally got some texture with curl to it? I was like, I don't know. But not anymore. It disappeared. I liked it too. It was cute when it was curly. Or wavy or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't like curly. But curling irons don't stay. And if you were on one of my Breakfast at Tiffany's episodes, I was wearing a non-heat curler thing, and I had it as Pippi Longstocking things. I have one of those things.
Yeah.
I could put my hair in that, leave it all night, and sleep. And in the morning, after I dip, because you dampen your hair and let it dry in there, and with the whatever wrapped around it, by morning, I take my hair out, and not even 1 hour, my hair is flat again. Same with the curling iron. I can have all my hair curled. Once you go from one side, you get to the other, the one side is already uncurly. With hairspray, gel, or anything, it flattens out. So I really can't do much hairstyles unless I braid my hair. When I braid my hair, it stays wavy. Like, the braid waves.
Looks good after waving.
Yeah. Scott likes it when I have braided braided hair, you know, the braid waves.
I like it when you have it braided, and I like it once it's taken out of the braids. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
You don't like it when it's out of the braids, but I do.
Well, it's because it's fluffy and fluffy when I take it out of the braids. And I can't put anything in it like oil. A lot of people put oil in their hair to tame it down, but still keep it curly or wavy or whatever. It doesn't work for me. Those things don't work for me. I have very, very, very weird hair. And I haven't been wearing it in a ponytail much because I just don't want to. I did put it up yesterday and the day before because of the yard sale, and it turned out to be windy. We spent weeks looking at the weather to make sure we wouldn't have a windy yard sale, and guess what? We had a windy yard sale. So I had to tie it up by the end of the day when it was super duper windy. I don't like wearing ponytails much because it yanks on my hair. It's fine in a clip though. Like if I twist it and clip it. But the ponytails, since my hair is so long, it grabs just one little fine hair and it starts yanking things. And I'm not even tender-headed. But ponytails make me tender-headed, I guess.
You're just tender-hearted.
Yeah. All right. Trim these down. Sew them together. Sounds like someone's yelling outside. Ah. All right. 1, 2, 3. This will be the 4th block. So I have been on for, well, I didn't start right away, but an hour and a half been on, and it's probably taken an hour and 20 total minutes to piece this. 4 blocks. Like, really? So paper piecing does take time, and I'm a speedy sewer, except for when I'm on live stream. I'm not as fast on live stream as I am when there's no live camera in front of me. Close that blade. Oh my goodness. Stay where I put you, you dumb piece of fabric. pressing my seam open. And there we have my 4th block. So that gives me a total so far of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. That's all I've managed to do. 13 blocks so far. If I would have been working on this through the week, if I wasn't so busy, I'd probably be done by now. But there's 42 papers in here, and I don't feel like sewing anymore because they take so long. I think I won't give you guys any more of these videos. I'll wait until they're all done and then come on and show you how I'm putting them together if I decide to do the thing I decided to do or not, to piece it all.
What's the difference between EPP and FPP?
EPP, English paper piecing, is on papers, and you wrap the thing around the paper and then you stitch those together side by side with, or well, you fold them right sides together and you stitch the very edge. FPP is foundation paper piecing. So you use a foundation paper and you piece it. So that's the difference. One is on paper, the other one is on little paper card type things, and most of them are reusable because you have to pull them out anyway. And you make mostly, the most common is like hexagons. So you make like grandmother's flower garden or something. If you want to Google it, see what that looks like. Those are usually English paper pieced. And like I said, I'm not a pro at that, so
one's all
because I
hand
haven't
sewn
done
and
it.
the other one's
Yeah,
machine.
one's all hand sewn and one's machine.
And
That's
you
the
don't
other
like hand
difference.
sewn.
And I don't like hand sewing at all. If you guys want to watch me hand sew, you can. After my surgery, I have videos where I spent 4 weeks in bed of live streams worth, and all I
You
did
were
was
hand
hand
sewing.
sewing because I couldn't do anything else. I had surgery and I didn't get into physical therapy in time, so I had to sit in bed and hand sew. All right, I am done sewing for the day, even though we're still here. I just, I lose the mood. If you have any questions, you can ask those right now.
We never ended up getting the auction up, so
Yeah,
just
we
ask
never
them
ended
if they
up
have some questions.
doing an auction. So if you have any questions, ask them now. I feel like.
Oh, thanks, Susan. She gave us $10.
Oh, thank you, Susan.
Just noticed it now, but
Scott just noticed it, so thank you. I made a bunch of what's the word for it? Reusable shopping bags. I've made 8 so far of those, so I've at least got something done with those. I still have like 20 bags to make on my project bags for the cruise. I mean, I have a lot of stuff to do in here. I still got to get some quilts quilted. I got to turn my quilts in when the time comes. I mean,
how was the yard sale?
our yard sale went good, surprisingly enough.
It went very good.
I would say a good 80%. We had a lot of stuff from 5 different people. And let's just say it was every table was filled Friday when people started coming in the morning. They were coming with flashlights because that's how it works, because it's still dark in the morning here. So they're out there with flashlights. By the end of the day, all the tables had less than half the amount they started with on them. So by Saturday, there was barely anything left. And the rest of everything that was available is now sitting on the curb for people to Scott posts an ad and for free, and they can all come and take whatever they want out at the curb, and then what doesn't get picked up in the next day or two, we usually clean up, and we either throw it in the trash or drop it off at the veterans thrift or something. So there's that. Oh, this stupid chair, it got stuck again.
Will you ever finish the one from your surgery?
The one from my surgery, I will when I hand quilt it, but I haven't hand quilted it yet. And I have so many quilts to finish. I made backing for 2 more. So I have backing and everything prepared for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 quilts. I have everything prepared for. I just haven't quilted them yet. I started on the triangles quilt backing, but I just haven't finished it because I need to match. I want to match the color to it, but I don't have anything in my room that matches. So I'll probably end up like, I don't know, pulling solids or something. I don't know.
Which direction do you place the fabric towards the paper?
Which direction do I place the?
Fabric.
Yeah, it goes on the bottom. So I'm just gonna pull one of these out. What you're seeing is the side that you don't put, the actual printed out section. You don't put your fabric on that side. Your fabric goes on the back side. You hold it in place, so you hold your back side, hold it in place, put it under the machine, and sew it. If you really want a lot of close-ups on paper piecing, my Sculliver video series has a lot of close-up on paper piecing and using a light and all that kind of stuff. I started using a light further in, so it gives you a better idea of how to line things up. A lot of people get confused because print fabric, if you're not using solids, print fabric, it has to face outwards. So not on the front side. You don't put your paper on your fabric on the drawed side or the printed side. You put it on the back side, and if your printed fabric faces out, just like any other fabric, so your printed fabric faces you see how pretty it is, and then you put the piece that you're adding right sides together on top of it. That way when you open it, you have your prints right on top. So that's one thing that's very confusing with paper piecing. But if you use solids, you don't have to worry about it. And solids do make, as you can tell, very adorable blocks. Solids do work pretty good for all sorts of things. A lot of people don't like using them, but I mean, there's some wow factor in some of these because it just looks amazing, especially with a black background. That's why I choose black a lot, because I think it gives you more of you see the colors better. There's a word, contrast. Whew, it gives you better contrast. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get going 15 minutes early because there's no other questions.
Have you seen the No, there's tons of questions.
Oh.
Have you seen the Luminaire quilts?
Luminaire quilts? No, don't know what Luminaire quilt is.
Okay. Are you using glow with backing sandwich?
Glow with no. I'm not using glow with backing sandwich. Don't know what you mean by that. He's reading them off. He's trying to find the questions.
Well, I'm a little behind. Some of the group has pictures of all your finished work, right?
Yeah, if you join the group, well, not all. Instagram has more pictures than the group of my finished work. Because I really don't post in the group that often. Work? Yeah. And I haven't actually been posting on Instagram or Facebook in months. I'm really lazy about it. I'm not a be on social media kind of person because I already have this. And as soon as videos are over and the comments start coming through on the replays, or if I upload a video, I spend too much time on my phone, and I don't want to spend that much time on my phone since I'm already on a, social media platform. So I struggle with keeping posted on things. It's not my fault, I just haven't taught Scott how to do any of that kind of stuff, or else he would probably do it for me.
I would gladly do all that.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it. You're good now.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for all for hanging out. Next Sunday, I will not bore you with any more foundation paper piecing, but when I do get all these blocks done, I will come back on a Sunday and, do that. I don't have any videos coming out this week. My open gate box is still not here. So I'm going to literally be making a video for one and then posting the next one very soon because February will probably come on time. So unfortunately, I
and
can't.
February's will get here the same week.
Yeah, that one I cannot control, unfortunately. So when that video comes out, it comes out because it's not here yet. Other than that, I hope you guys all have a great week and I will see you in my next video. Bye.